Hey Stampin' friends, welcome to Movie Monday with Jody Breckbill, Stampin' Queen. This card is yet another one that we made in my Wow Wednesday class. Wow Wednesday just lends itself perfectly to Movie Mondays. I found this one at one of my upline meetings and I saw it and thought this is perfect for Wow. It's actually not that hard because the dies do all the work for you, but this is the front and then check it. There's your inside with a super cute pop-up card. So let me show you how I created this one. Where do we want to start? Okay, let's start with this little strip of white cardstock. I'm going to use our Memento black ink and stamp Happy Birthday on the little strip. And I kind of like this one because it looks like an old typewriter. So you are going to see lighter and darker on the same stamp. That's normal. That's the way that they made it so that it looks kind of old-fashioned. This is Melon Mambo, and that's a little stamp. Actually, this set, or this stamp is from a set called Party with Cake, and it is made to coordinate with some of the designer paper and the party pop-up dies. There are two suites we have in our New Occasions catalog that really are very cool for lots of birthday cards, celebrations, that kind of thing. And that's the little sprinkle. So I'm going to stamp that in Melon Mambo on the edge here. And then even though it doesn't quite fit, I do want to have a little bit of a banner notch on the end. I'm still using our big triple banner punch, and I'm just going to eyeball it to cut a little banner the way that I like them perfectly. You could do it with scissors. You can use square punches and that type of thing, but this works just as easily. Then I'm going to take a piece of our designer series paper from It's My Party paper stack. It has pistachio stripes on the back, and then it's got this neat little geometric on the front. And I really liked the black and pink together. And so I'm going to use our Curvy Trio punch, and I'm going to punch all the edges. Now, when you use the Curvy Trio, there are two guides on the side because we have 3 different punches. So I slid my paper in the whole way to meet the guide. You feel like you should just punch kind of sideways on this one just to catch this punch, but remember to still punch straight up and straight down. Otherwise, you might get a little bit of a raggedy image. Now, to make sure that these are exactly the same on both sides, I punch this side and then I flip it over and punch the other side. And then that makes sure that they are exactly even. Sometimes when you do it without flipping, your notches are a little off, and if you're a little bit of a perfectionist or OCD like I am, you like to have everything perfectly even, and so that's why I do it that way. So now we have 4 of our corners notched, and then I'm just going to attach my Happy Birthday banner onto the front of my DSP. Now, if it seems like yours is a little bit too long, you can easily just trim it off on the edge here. Now, that is going to be attached to the front of my card, which is Melon Mambo. See, isn't that pink and black just pop? Then I took our lots of labels. I think it's lots of labels framelit. I stamped my sentiment in It's Time to, or I stamped the It's Time to Party in Melon Mambo ink, and then I die cut that out through the Big Shot. And let me show you what I did. This is one stamp right here. So you can see that mine is missing with cake, and that's because I cut it off of the stamp. So now if I want to, I can actually stamp them both at the same time. I just go ahead and put them on a bigger block, and there we go. But sometimes I do that with my stamps if I can get more use out of them. With this being, I just wanted It's Time to Celebrate, and it's a little bit easier to stamp up that way. So then I punch that out, and somewhere, there we are, I lost my silver twine, I think we call this. This was in our holiday catalog, and it is retired now, but I really like the thickness of it. You could definitely use the silver thread. You could use the baker's twine, the double colored baker's twine that's in the Occasions catalog that goes with this suite as well. And you're just going to, I kind of let it use its normal what are they called? And it's in its spool form, and I would just attach that to the back and kind of spread it around so that it has a little bit of the twine sticking out the edges there. And then attach that with dimensionals to the front of your card. But let me get along to show you how to do your inside. So this is the Party Pop-Up dies. It comes with the Hip Hip Hooray, and it also comes with a Happy Birthday. The Happy Birthday will as well make a pop-up, or you can even just cut this out and put that on the front of your design or front of your card. Same with this one. You don't have to make them pop-ups. You can just use them as embellishments. This one I did want to try it and make it with the pop-up. Now you can see there's two little V's right here on the die itself, and you do want to fold your cardstock so that you know where the center is. And then you just are going to line up those V's right on the fold and run it through the Big Shot. And ta-da, look at that. Then you're just going to punch all your negative space out, and it actually comes out pretty easily. And I did just run it through with the regular magnetic plate. I did not use the precision plate on this. Now, sometimes it is handy just because these pieces are cut. Sometimes you still have to very carefully ask them nicely to come out of the cardstock. You don't want to do it too heavy-handed because you don't want to rip your cardstock, but a poker does help just to get those little teeny pieces out of there. And there are actually some little holes even that I did use my little poker tool to open those holes up so that you could see the pink cardstock showing through behind my saying. So once you have all these little guys out, you're going to attach it. Oh, that one actually did not cut through the whole way, so I might have to run it back through. And there's some little stars. So now a fun thing would be to collect all this stuff here and put that inside the card. So when your friend opens it, all these little pieces of confetti fall out. That's a lot of fun. I used to love when people did that to me. Confetti all over my floor. You know, I'm not sure if I can make this one come out or not without ripping it too badly. Hold on one second while I go. Actually, let me show you how to do this a while. I won't actually glue it to the inside of my card. I'll go back through and cut that before I do any damage. But what ends up happening are there's two score lines right here on either side of your Hip Hip Hooray. Your hip hip actually is going to come forward. So very nicely, you're going to say, hey, cardstock, I'm going to do a little fold for me there on the hip hip part, because that's what needs to come out towards you. But then the scores that you had already done ahead of time are going to go backwards, so that these pieces are actually heading in towards the back of the card. And then you're going to very carefully make these little folds indented as well. And they are scored there, so a bone folder would come in handy. I'm just going to carefully fold them. Okay, so there you get the gist of how that card, this is how it will close, okay, and be inside your card. And then when your card opens, you'll see your Hip Hip Hooray. Now, what I would suggest to you before you put it into your card is actually do any stamping and writing that you want to on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and do Let's Party, and then you would probably want to go ahead and sign it at some point while it's flat. Okay, let's party. I've got quite a mess here now. So what I do to attach this card after that, it's had a couple seconds to dry, is I'm going to put adhesive. You can use fast fuse, sticky strip, tear and tape. I would encourage you to use something that has some stronger hold to it than your regular snail adhesive. So just coat this edge here, this back side, with your adhesive, and then you're just going to lay your seam from your pop-up against the seam of your card and close it. Okay, then you're going to open the front of your card, adhesive on this edge, okay, and then close it again. now you have your card attached, or your pop-up attached to the inside. I did 2 strips of designer paper here just to give it a little bit of extra color. So that's all there is to that one. Is that not cute or what? And actually, it's a wow card. Your people getting this are going to be like, seriously, how did she do that? And it really is the die. That's all you need, is the die cut and the Big Shot. So I hope you enjoy, and I will check you back for Movie Monday next week. Have a good week.